So let's talk about some of the other stuff that was seen that's kind of big that at least interested me. Hideo Kojima and Norman Reedus are back together again. Sadly, we're lacking Guillermo del Toro. While del Toro did say that he had interest in doing a game with whatever Reedus and Kojima did next. Guy's a director and a writer. He's probably got a lot going on.
He's got projects.
Yeah, he's got...
Is he doing Pacific Rim 2 probably right now?
Probably. He's got stuff on his plate. So the game that they debuted was called Death Stranding. And while not much is known about it, I can tell you one thing. It looks like a Hideo Kojima game. Absolutely. It's got a naked Norman Reedus. Holding a baby with what looks like an electronic umbilical cord. And then the baby disappears, and you start seeing these black handprints everywhere. There are like dead fish and crabs all over the beach, and there are people floating in the sky. And you can clearly see what looks like a C-section mark on Norman Reedus' stomach.
Ugh.
So I don't know if he was pregnant or what. It looks interesting.
He wakes up with some sort of electronic handcuff or something on him.
Yeah.
Like.
And it looks... What's interesting is that Kojima's games are always mind fucks. And
he's got a bunch of thumb drives around his neck, it looks like?
He's out of Konami's grasp, and he's free to do what he wants, and it's not another Metal Gear game, and he can go crazy, and it looks like he's going crazy. What's interesting to me is I want to know...
I was ready to sing Prince, by the way.
Thanks. I'm glad you did it. I'm curious to know as to how much of his ideas from PT are going to make the transition to this, because it's not like they own his thoughts and ideas. But this does not look like anything we ever saw in PT. However, there still is a mysterious baby that goes disappearing.
It's not a C-section. It's like a whole abdomen fucking cut across like that. So something got ripped out of him.
So, what I'm curious as to how much is going to carry over, and all I can think of so far is, there was that baby in that like fetus in the sink that talks to you in the PT demo. So it'll be interesting for me to see what happens. But the trailer, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit more later as well. We're seeing a return to atmosphere in games, and this is very exciting to me. And I don't just mean we're accurately recreating a war-torn area, or the streets of London. It looks like we might be creating interesting new worlds here, and I very much want to see what happens with this.
I'm glad that... It sounded like Norman Reedus was pretty upset when the whole...
Oh, he was super fucking bummed. I'm so happy he's back out.
That was like a year ago already?
Yeah.
A little over a year ago?
He really wanted to make a game with Kojima.
Actually, it was like February 2015, I think, where that fell through. Or March, something like that, April.
Somewhere around there.
It was like 2 months after the trailer came out. I was like, oh, sorry, we're not doing it anymore. Kojima, bye. Get out of here, asshole.
Mm-hmm.
We're taking your name off Metal Gear.
Because we're a bunch of fucks.
Death Stranding. No release date. I'm going to probably say late 2017, probably.
Yeah, I would say probably at the earliest.
They're probably just starting this up. They got to do motion capture. They did show them. I'll tell you this: the graphics, like for the facial capture, it's pretty damn good. We're past that uncanny valley stage where
we're getting there. We're getting there.
Like he's like when he's crying, like holding.
Yeah, there's definite shots where I'm like, okay, that's uncanny valley, and then there are definite shots where I'm like, I'm looking at Norman fucking Reedus naked holding a baby.
Yeah. They didn't go for the full frontal though. They were afraid to do that in the E3 trailer.
I was kind of upset.
Speaking of that, real quick as a segue, they censored out what the hell trailer was it? One of the first trailers at the Microsoft or Sony one where they were showing massive amounts of ultra violence. It could have been Gears of War 4, but they cut out some cursing. The character said like "goddamn" to the camera. They blanked that out, but the gory ultra violence was a-okay. I just thought it was hysterical.
I don't want to get into this whole thing this whole conversation everyone has, but America's aversion to things like sex and swearing, yet not to go buckets and buckets of blood. It's like at this point, it's insane.
It's beyond ridiculous. Well, they even have little Norman Reedus' little mole there too, like on his face, like it's him.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is interesting. we'll see what's going to happen, obviously, with this. I'm just glad that the games get made. Del Toro, maybe he'll have some input on the side.
Who knows?
You know, he'd make it.
They'll get together for tea.
For tea. They'll Skype together and throw ideas back and forth, right?